So basically GT550, it was reasonably cheap, it allegedly goes. It's got some really nasty bodges on it. There's a bolt wedged in between the fins holding the right hand exhaust pipe on. The brakes appear to have been bled by pouring brake fluid over them. I don't know, but they kind of work. There's possibly more engine oil outside the engine than there is inside the engine. And the handlebars are weird and ugly. So not a good place to start. So why start there? Well, the point was, if you go and buy something that's nice, attractive and easy to do, they would tend to be like really expensive because they're nice, attractive and easy to do. So I thought I'd get something ugly, awkward and difficult to do and see what we can do without making it look too difficult. I think it's going to be a single top tube drop seat, sort of 80s kind of a deal. That was it. Without further ado, let's put the battery back on. Not the ideal tool for the job. So let's go and get a better tool for the job. Oh, that's the right one. There we go, that's better. Really? Okay, so I guess it's a better tool for the job, and it turns about 3 times more difficult. At last. Right. Fortunately it's got a key, so look at that. Everything lit up. Spins over. Result. Okay, that's the oil warning light. So the next question is, have we got spark? It's always worth sticking your thumb over the plug hole or finger, making sure we get a satisfactory squirt out of it, so you know there's something approaching compression, because we need that to make it go. And it's got sparks, which is probably just as well because it's electronic, unlike the XS650, which was points. And points you can fiddle about with stuff and get a result, but electronic stuff, if it's not working, it's a different story. Come on, start. There we go. No. Well, that said, there's 4 boxes over there, so one of them was going to work, hopefully. Chances are. Normal sequence of events is that one coil does 1 in 4 and the other one does 2 in 3, so that lets you know what goes where. Let's see if we get some fuel in it, shall we? Oh. Find some fuel. Ooh. If you're wondering about the excess puffing and panting, it's because it seems to have some sort of stomach ache today. There's some fuel in there. We're having a bit of a drip down there, are we? Yep. Some amount of it seems to be escaping from the car browse, so we just whip that out and turn that on. Yeah, probably. does sound slightly like the cam chain is going to make a break for freedom any second now. Or it could just be that it's running on 3. I'm not entirely happy about that. We'll have to do a check into that and find out. I've got a thing for that. There it is. Temperature gauge. 98, 228, 231. 152. It's fair to assume that this one, number 1 here, is not pulling its weight. So that would account for the rattliness. So that was a highly informative video. Basically, wasn't expecting that to happen like that at all. A certain amount of exposition about engines making knocking noises. This is making horrible knocking noises. People go, oh, it's the big ends, oh, it's the crank main bearings, whatever. Well, on this it could well be the crank main bearings because they're shell bearings. If it was a Z900 or an XS650, unlikely because they're roller. They'd make a rumbling noise, they wouldn't make a knocking noise. This left-hand carb's leaking. Numbers 1 and 4 ain't getting very hot. 2 and 3 are. 1 and 4 on the same coil as we said earlier, so it could just be something as simple as an electrical fault, making those drop out. When it settled down and it was going on 4, no knocking noise, so suspicions would fall on cam chain tension really, because when the motor's going the chain's yanking around and that's doing that. The other thing could be on some engines is primary noise, knocking backwards and forwards. So it's not worth taking. I'm probably going to pull the cam cover off just to check the chain tension, because this just comes off. There's no big involved deal on it, and I can have a look at the shims while I'm there, which is one of the reasons it might be. If your shims are closing up, then that can stop it from firing. Because the valves aren't seating when it warms up. This needs a quick check in the rocker cover, and it needs the carbs pull in, and see if we do something about them floody bits. It's a bit moist as well. So number 1's flooding, number 4 is a little moist. 3 and 4 seem okay. So let's have a look at what we got, and the first thing to do would be plug some bits on there. So earlier on I ran out of the quiet sports tank. Probably not really a sports tank because it's not really of a sports tank. Six-inch flat fender. Now, put this on either way round, but whichever way round you put it on, you can be sure of one thing, and that's, I don't know if you can see that from over there, it's going to want cutting down. So the other thing I acquired for it was the inevitable sprung solo seat. Take a clamp, line that up with those bits that mud guards might belong on them. I should check that out before I try it. And there you go, custom bike. So, hope you enjoyed that. See you in the next one. If only it was that easy. What are the snags? So overall it doesn't look completely horrible, but if you get up closer, firstly, there's enough room for you and a friend to sit there. So let's put that back over there a second. Tank shoved all the way forwards, and it's still not sitting down at the back. And there's no, the original seat rails are failing on the back of the tank. This is hitting the mud guard here. That's the swinging arm. It's hit the swinging arm there, and it's kind of a bit much sticking down there. So we're going to have to chop some bits and pieces out. The top tube really needs to be longer because the tank wants to sit back, maybe there, which means that tab is not actually handily that lined up with the end of it. I'll check that when I turn the camera off. And that seating area needs rethinking. So let's get on with that. Okay, so angle grinder, axle, glasses. At this point, when I'm chopping anything off that keeps it up in the air, so I'm not going to chop the top shock mounts off. Try saying that, alright. And I'll sort of get this back end off out of the way, and that'll do for now, I think. Axles there in case they can't make it all the way through with the disc cutter. Safety glasses are there because it's YouTube. And try not to spray hot metal all over anything important. You know what, I might take that bit off actually, so there'll be a pause while I go get a 12mm spanner. Incidentally, if you're taking a Japanese motorcycle apart, pretty much everything is going to be 10, 12 or 14mm. Forget the vast majority of stuff in there. There'll be a few 8s here and there, maybe a couple of smaller ones. Get yourself a JIS screwdriver. If you don't know what it is, there's a link to a video and eBay link to buy some. That'll make screws easier. You'll need a 5mm Allen key and maybe one either side of it. And that'll be about it. Brilliant. Anyway, that little temporisation over. Let's chop the back of this off. The obvious problem being that the disc ain't big enough to get down in there, and we don't want to be taking the whole motorcycle apart just at this moment in time. So, I'll see you later. Never underestimate the power of a hacksaw. What's that done? Blade out again, which is going to be slightly amusing. Excuse me while I can get a pry driver. Briefly. You might have noticed that on some snap-on implements like this, they have text which reads not to be used as a chisel or a pry bar. Some of these that I've got lying around have text on them that says not to be used as a screwdriver. Oh, that's getting a bit close. The advantage of a hacksaw is that very seldom you use a hacksaw and go afterwards. Oh, bugger, I didn't mean to cut through that bit. Since we're messing around with Japanese frames, can you see that? In there. A technical expression. See if we can get it to focus on something. Oh, there you go. That's pretty rusty. And this is always going to be a problem if we're messing around with older motorcycles. Corrosion inside the frame. So that's that locked off. So what we want out of life next is this longer top tube thing. There's a lot of colour on this thing. You've got a couple of coils that live here, A and B. You've got an oil cooler down here which is hanging off. The ignition unit seems to live about there. But on the plus side, the air box is not going to be in there, and the dirty great big battery isn't going to be in there either, so I'm going to put a smaller one in it. We'll like actually spend money. So I want this top tube out of the way. We know how long that needs to be. We want 23 inches for that. Let's go forward a bit. Might as well come a little bit back past there, give us some good proof. So call it 23 inches. So I'm going to find some tube that's 23 inches and will fit in the tunnel of that. What I'm going to find it, I mean basically I've got a rack over there with tube in it, which is seamless tube for building motorcycle frames. And I'm going to go and find a bit of that. So, be back shortly. Good cheers to some Northern Donkey Shop. That there, this is 24. This here says 18. It's about on a par with a Mercedes exhaust pipe. There. Okay, so with that lot cut out and a bit of cleaning up started, problem is now I've got to move it to get 1200 yamming. So when I put it down on its wheels, there's a possibility it's going to go in the middle. Well, a likelihood really. So what I need to know is, if I put that bang against the back of the yoke, not on the bolt, on the back of the yoke, it goes down to the spindle, it tells me it's 49 inches. If I check the other side, that comes out the same. So when I put it back on its wheels, I can check that against the, if I was you I'd have written it down, but I'm videoing it, so I've got a record. And then I check that and that will be groovy. Take care of yourself and I'll see you in the next one.